Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Crypto's 15-minute market update. However, this is not going to be a 15-minute market update because I've been gone on vacation for about 5 days, and I was not able to record one for you when I was gone. While I was gone, wow, I can't speak this morning. So, in appreciation for the love that I've been getting from these videos, I want to make a detailed Bitcoin update. So it's going to be longer than 15 minutes. And I want to go over some of the stuff that happened in the past 5 days, some of the things that we talked about, and start a brand new chart with some different perspectives on it. So this is going to be longer than 15 minutes, but it will be not only a Bitcoin update, but whoever answers my Twitter post for request on alts, I'm going to do alt requests as well. So far, I only have one request, and that's DNT on the Twitter. So I have my Twitter open on my phone. So I'll be watching my phone to make sure that if any other alt requests come through, I'll do those as well. But first, what I would like to do is that I would like to cover myself legally by giving you my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am wrong 99.9% of the time. So if you follow me and you use real money, you have a 99% chance of losing it all. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This is just game theory. Fantasy trading, you can call it paper trading if you will. All right, now that I'm covered and I can now freely speak about our fantasy trades. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to start with this chart here. This is the last chart that we used, and I'm going to briefly go over what we were looking for, what we were expecting, and what happened. Last time we spoke, we were looking to see if we were going to fail the channel and finally take out the liquidation cluster, which was at 55,800. I posted that on Twitter before I left on vacation, and I believe the following day is when we finally came down and we took out that heat that I've been talking about for I've been talking about it with my premium channel for quite a while, but with you guys for about a week or so. We've been taking trades. I've been giving you guys trades on my free Telegram channel, and you guys all been doing very well, making great ROIs. We started doing alts this week as well. We made a killing on Sol. We did great on Link. So if you guys are not in my free Telegram, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just go to my Twitter page, my front page of my Twitter. I have a pinned post at the very top. So if you go to look for like my bio, look at the information on my page, right below it, the very first post has my pinned post with the link to my free Telegram channel. So I encourage you guys, if you guys are interested in day trading, that's a day trading channel. If you're interested in day trading, that's a channel for you. Okay, so we completed that objective of coming down into here. Does that mean that is it? That is over? Not necessarily. So I want to talk about the bear case, and I want to talk about the bull case as well, because we are in a bull cycle. It's hard for me to get uber bearish like some people are when we're in a bullish cycle. But there are levels of validation and invalidation to both cases, and that's how I approach the market. I'm not smart enough to know the market, guys, to where it's going to go. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. So what I do is that I put parameters on both sides, and I allow the market to tell me which one of those parameters it takes out. And when it takes out a certain parameter, it starts to shift my bias if we're going to continue that path or we're going to pivot. And that's how I like to approach it. And that's how I've been approaching it with you guys on my day trades. And as you can see, it works. Is it 100%? No, it's not 100%, but it's right more often than it is wrong. So for what I want to do now, beginning a fresh week, is going to be, as a matter of fact, you know what I did not do? I did not give the date. Today is Monday, July 8th, 6:49 a.m. I mean, you can see it you should be able to see it at the top of my screen. Upper right hand corner. But in any case, I want to make it a habit of calling out the dates as well in the beginning. I'm gonna trash all of these indicators. I'll remove the drawings. I'm gonna remove the drawings, and I'm gonna put away the indicators for right now. I don't need those. And we're going to look just at market structure. So the first thing I want to start off with is there are two channels that I'm looking at on this market structure. One's a horizontal and one is a diagonal. And I'll explain to you, you'll be able to see it really clearly when I plot it on here, why I look at those and why I'm paying close attention to those particular channels as they've been holding pretty true to the movements of Bitcoin. So the first channel I want to put is basically on this high that we put here for Bitcoin. And then once we put that high, we came down and we put in a higher low. So between the high and the higher low is one of the channels that I'm going to put on here. And I had this channel previous, but again, I just want to explain to you why I'm using that one. Okay, so you can see here the respect of this channel. You can see that the high and the low were set on this move, and after that, you can see how well we respected the medium channel, the bottom of the channel, and close to the top of that channel. The medium, it really validates the channel because it shows you both resistance and support right on this channel, validating the channel. We had a deviation here with the close below it, but we regained it. We had another deviation, which we're currently in, which we've closed multiple daily candles, and we have not revisited this area yet. So this is in part why I am looking for higher targets in the smaller time frames. And we're going to touch on that when we get there. For right now, I just want to establish the macro view so that we can then dial it into the smaller time frames to look for those smaller moves, those intraday moves that may lead us to a retest of here or a lower target. And I'm going to talk about that as well. I'm going to be sipping my coffee while I do that as well. So just bear with me. All right. Now, there is another pattern that started to establish after this channel was established. And this is not a channel that I created. The market created it for me. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You see this right here? I'm going to put an extended line. We had the top, and then rather than going to the very top of this channel, we found rejection there. So when you use this as your base and you follow it, look at what it did. Another rejection there, another rejection there, another rejection there, a deviation back below it, and a back test, and there's the result of that. So that's our second channel. So what I'm going to do here is actually I can leave that there as a guide. I just put that there. I'm just going to put this right here, and I'm going to guide this basically down into that same wick that we have here on that higher low. All right, so let me go ahead and just get rid of that purple line. I don't need it. Just want to give you a visual of why I drew that channel. And now, surprisingly enough, guys, look at this. Look at the medium of that line. Look at how well respected the resistance, support, resistance, a breakout, back test, support, breakdown, back test, and continuation. I mean, it's just incredible. And then when we made it to the bottom of this channel, look at where we bounced. When we had the deviation off the horizontal, this is where it landed. Look at that. When we had the deviation here, look at where it landed. When we had the deviation here, look at where we're at. Look at what we've regained. I mean, it's just incredible to see the TA work the way it does. Now, the first thing I want to address is what everyone's worried about. Oh my God, we're gonna crash. We're gonna go to 30,000, 20,000, 10,000. I don't know where we're gonna go, and honestly, I don't care. And that's what I teach my students in my Discord, and this is what I try to instill people on my Telegram. That either way, we're going to make money. Either way, we're going to have successful trades. I don't care who signs my paycheck. It can be the bear or it can be the bull, as long as somebody signs my paycheck. So direction, I don't care. I'm going to play it either way. That's the beauty about this. That's the beauty of this market. Now, if we do go down, I'm going to only consider a couple of points to the downside, because there's no need to talk about in my opinion. There's no need to talk about these targets until we get closer to those 20, 30, 10, 5, whatever they want to call it. I just think it's a little ridiculous, but nonetheless, could it happen? Yeah, it could happen, but I'm not going to entertain it as of yet. So my biggest support level that I have now for the bears, if we do come down, is going to be this area right here. Actually, I'm going to do a box, because we have the top of these candles and then we have these wicks here. So that is an area of support that I'm looking for. That is an area, and we got really close to it. As you can see here, we got close to bouncing off of there, but this is where I believe it's going to hold. If it doesn't hold, we'll have a different conversation. Now, another parameter that I'm looking at is going to be on the weekly time frame. So let me go to the weekly time frame. Let me turn on my EMAs. It's going to be this one here. That's slightly below that support band. Let me go here, and I'm just going to do this. 50 EMA weekly. All right. This way I can turn off my indicators, and I don't have to crowd the chart. Now, you go back to the daily. So this way we have a visual of what that 50 EMA would look like on the weekly time frame. So if we break through here, I can see I can see a wick touching the 50 EMA on the weekly and a candle body closed within this box. If that happens, the bulls still have a chance to recover. And I'll be the first to admit, we break below here and we back test this and we reject, the bears can now start considering those lower targets, and I have to start considering those lower targets. But for now, I need the market to prove it to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it cannot happen. I'm just saying I don't want to entertain that notion if we haven't even hit this area yet, let alone broke and rejected below it. So for now, we're gonna talk about possible recoveries, because that's exactly what we're doing. Look, we're holding on to the bottom of these channels. We have a possible recovery here. We're in a bull cycle. And I'm going to show you the invalidations. I think it's pretty clear. Breaking below here, like I mentioned, breaking below here could just be a deviation. However, how the market behaves underneath here is the true sign for me that we're not going to go lower. So for right now, what I'm looking for is a move to the upside. So for that, I want to do this. I want to look at the smaller time frames. And I also like looking at the market structure. This to me is a bullish market structure. This is a W. Okay, this is a W. You may not see it very well here if you're not trained to see it. And if you need a little bit more clarity, just drop down a little bit. Just drop down another time zone and you'll see it. There it is right there. There it is right there. So we have a W on the daily, weekly, and we have another more. It's more distinctive right here on the 4-hour. Look at that. That's a beautiful W. There it is right there. This is a market structure that I play quite often. And this is a market structure that I rely on for my long trades. Can they get invalidated? Absolutely. Are they work every single time? Nope. But that's the beauty of knowing where those validations are, where those breakdowns, where the rejections are, because they save you from losing money. They allow you to pivot within a trade for the opposite direction, whether you're long or short and you need to pivot the other way. All right, so first thing I want to talk about how disciplined these moves are, because this may look random to you, but there's nothing random about it. I rely a lot on back tests. And I want to show you a beautiful example of back testing, which is why I put a lot of faith and a lot of stock in those types of back tests to give me the confidence to go into a position. We broke through the bottom of this channel, and look at what we did. We back tested. Yes, we wicked, but we closed above it. So now we back test back into support. Back test, support. We break out. We then come back down. We lose it. We come back and we back test it. We come back down here, and then we reclaim it. Now, one of the things that I'm looking for obviously is a follow through. However, usually when I look at a W, I look at the left side. This would be the completion of that W. But I'm not looking that far high for the same reason that I'm not looking for a target lower than this yet. Because for me, I understand that this horizontal resistance on the horizontal channel is going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. It's very unlikely it's just going to break right through. It's going to have some resistance. And here is where I'm going to take profit, because this is going to give me the direction of my next move. I don't know what my next move is. I don't know if we're going to go higher, if we're going to go lower, but I do know that I need to exit my trade. I need to pay myself for my work. And then once we resolve whether we're going to go higher or lower, that becomes my next move. The problem with most people is they want to get into a move and they want to make 1,000% and they don't want to leave. They want to hold that until they make 1,000%. That's why I said day trading is not for everyone. In and out of trades 4 to 9 times a day, easily. And it can be done because there's so much volatility in this market. So much volatility if you know how to look for it, if you know where to look for it. There's a lot of traders that I hear on YouTube and on Twitter, like, oh, forget about day trading. How can you day trade it? I can. That's what I thrive on. That's what I love to do. I recognize those patterns. There's some really good day traders. As a matter of fact, if you follow my buddy Paul J and Stefan at the Gladiator Arena, those guys, CTA, those guys are really good. Those guys are good traders. They day trade. The Crypto Trader Arena, and there's guys that do it, that we enjoy doing that. The market gives us all the opportunities that we need. It's not, if you're not doing it, it's because you're not wanting to do it. You're not putting forth the effort to do it. But it can be done, which is why I am opening a paid Telegram Signal channel. For those who don't want to put the effort, don't want to take the time to learn, they just want to know, BC, just tell me where to buy and tell me where to sell. That's all I want to know. That's what I'm opening. It's only going to be $25 a month. And if you go to my free Telegram channel now and scroll up, fact check me. Just look at all those posts, look at all the trades that I give people, and tell me if I don't know, if I'm full of shit. Tell me if I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me if I don't make people very good ROIs. If I don't join. Block me. Please block me if you don't see the value in it. But you also see the praises. You also see the post of the ROIs. You also see people joining and they're surprised on how accurate these moves are. My moves are accurate not because I have a crystal ball, but because I spent years and years looking at the 5, 15-minute and hourly charts. That's where I live. That's my neighborhood. I live in that. So when you get used to that volatility, it makes things much easier. Am I right every time? No, I'm not. I'm not always right. But I'm going to be right more often than I'm going to be wrong. And that's the only thing as a trader that I can ask for. And if you want to join my Telegram, my new channel that I'm going to be opening up soon, probably more likely going to be this week, and you want a 100% success rate, please do not join. Don't waste your money, because that's not me. All right? Let me talk about the intraday trade that I'm looking for today. I would love for this to continue to go higher based on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, I would love that. Now, there's a couple of things that I'm looking for. Because on the hourly time frame, because right here, on this hourly time frame, we did put, I mean, there's some sort of W structure. I just don't like how V-shaped this is pronounced. Usually when we have a V shape like this, I don't feel too comfortable. But now that I'm actually looking at this a little bit better, and you see this wick here, this could constitute as a double bottom. So I am not going to hold it against the bulls, but rather I'm going to allow the market to give me a proper higher low structure. Because anytime that you bounce the way we did and you want to see continuation, you need proper market structure. If you don't put proper market structure, you're going to come down. We saw that here. We went up. We didn't put a decent higher low. We didn't stretch the rubber band. We had another break, and look what happened. So if you're a bull, you want us to come down to at least the 382 or 0.50, which I call my continuation rule. And let me show that to you. That's going to be this. And look where we're bouncing, right on 382. So we're doing good. We're also putting in a flag pattern. I would like for this to resolve. However, if we do break down and we go to the 0.50, we're still within bounce territory. We can still have a chance to bounce and put in that higher high. And hopefully on the next bounce, we go in and we tap the bottom of that channel. That's where I exit my trade. So let's look at that, where that would be at. So that's right here. That's where I'm looking for us to exit if we bounce from here. Now, if we invalidate this by closing below the 0.50 and opening up a new candle below here, then we're going to invalidate this rule, and we're going to put a reload zone right here, and then we're looking for a bounce either at 618 or 706 or 786. But typically we pivot on 786. 706 is where we normally pivot. Whenever you see me put one of these green boxes, these FIB counts, pay attention to 706. 80% of the time, if not higher, we bounce from 706. So if you get greedy and you wait for 786, you probably won't get filled. Just so you know. I usually have a scaling approach. I will scale in here, and I have a stink bid here. I like having a 3-tier system when I go into a trade. But that's just me. All right, so now even if we do go down here, does that invalidate the move up to this? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. The only thing that would invalidate a move up to here is if we close below this swing low. If we close a candle below this swing low, look where we're at. There's that box that we looked at on the weekly time frame. Now we're back into major macro support, but we lose the potential bounce from this W structure. I'm still leaning towards we're going to go higher, and we're not going to go down to this box, but we could. And if we do, I have it mapped out and I have a plan for it. No big deal. We can always shift. And I start to shift my view by waiting for it's not called high time frames, but higher invalidations. What I mean by that is you saw that I started with my continuation rule, right? Look at where we're at. Look at what we hit. This is a high continuation rule. So if we start to invalidate this, automatically I start thinking, we're starting to see some weakness. We should be bouncing. We should be either creating a bull flag on the lower time frames, which we are, but a bull flag indicates that we're going to move higher. That's what we hope, that it's going to move higher. That's what it normally does. But if it starts to break down, we start picking up on those clues. I'm like, all right. Things are not bouncing the way they should have. Do we still have a chance to save it? Yes, we do. If you start invalidating this box, then we start shifting to hedge positions. I start shifting to hedge positions. I start shifting to short positions to cover my underwater long position. Then I start making the decision, depending on what happens here, if I want to cut this. And the reason I wouldn't cut this right away is because there's a pattern that often plays out. That if we were to do this, we come here and say we even go to 706, but we don't invalidate it. We go to the very bottom, we can still do this. And you know what this puts on the chart? A pattern that I often play that I learned from Brian Beamish. 3 higher lows. 3 higher lows is a very bullish market structure. Guys, I often do this on my videos because I think it's a good form of respect. The way I trade, everything that I've learned, my entire system, I didn't invent it. Through the years, I followed traders that I respected, And their system had things in them that I can relate to, that I remember, that I incorporated, that I back tested, and then I started to use on a regular basis. Many great traders out there that I've learned from, and that's how I create the system that I'm in, so that I can maximize my trades and help my students and help you guys come up with the most successful trade. Unfortunately, Twitter has become a cesspool compared to what it used to be when I entered the space. Back in 2016, 2017, guys, it was a community of people that would help each other. Hey, guy, hey, dude, you may not want to be shorting or longing here because of this. Check this out. Oh, man, thank you so much. I didn't see that. I appreciate. Thank you for the help. Yeah, no problem. Anytime you need something, let me know. That's the environment we were in. Look at Twitter now. Does that seem like the environment we are in? No. Everybody is rooting for people to fucking fail. It's awful. That's why I call it a cesspool. And that's why I do the paid Discords and the paid Telegrams to weed out all that cesspool. That's why you don't see me as active as some people on here. I don't like dealing with that. I only want like-minded individuals that want to succeed, that don't want to tear people down and put them in a small community and get rid of the rest. And in order to do that, you have to invest in yourselves, because people who pay are less likely to want to knock other people down. That's just a reality of it. That's just a reality of it. And if I'm going to help you succeed, you better fucking believe I'm going to get paid for it. You better believe that my time is worth something. I don't have the mentality that I'm worthless. People who don't charge, that means that they view their time as worth, it's not worth anything. That's not me. I grew up with a lot of pride, a lot of self-respect. And I don't see how you can have self-respect and just give your time for fucking free all the time. I'm not talking about volunteering or charity, things of that nature. I'm talking about value. So if you go to your job and you say, hey, don't pay me, I just want to be here because I want to help, that's somebody who doesn't know their own worth. And that's what I'm referring to, because this is my job. So naturally, I'm going to charge for my time. All right. Let's get back to this. Sorry, I digressed. Now, 3 higher low pattern still have a chance. And that's why I say if we invalidate this, so we invalidated the continuation rule, we invalidate the reload zone, what comes next? We have to start thinking downside. We have to start thinking, okay, now I'm going to open up a hedge short position. I'm going to keep my long because I want to start now seeing us lose this swing low. We lose this swing low. Let me go ahead and just close 50% of my long. I'm going to close it. And I'm already in profit on my short. So I don't need to rush. I didn't bet the farm on here. I didn't bet the farm on the long. So I've got room. I've got plenty of trades that were winning trades that I'll be digging into some profits, but it's okay. Because often when we rush into something, what happens? Things pivot. Market changes. Market likes to trap people, trap longs and shorts both. So I look for those signs, and those can be one of those traps. So for today, my intraday traders, the purpose of these videos, my daily videos are for the intraday traders. We're looking for a move into here first. We're not looking into this. We're looking for here. And we've got the move here, all right? Now we need the bounce. We need that bounce. So this is where I'm leaning. I'm leaning to here, but this is the end of the move right here. The end of the move. When we hit here, trades are closed. My new setup will happen. Well, I will call out my new setup to my Telegram channel only and my Discord only. Not on. I won't call it out on Twitter. That's what I'm saying. You guys, if you're not on Telegram, you're missing everything. I will call out my new trade setup here, because again, the behavior of what we do here or where we do here, because I don't know where we're going to go, is going to determine what trade we're going to take. And we're going to do that by going down to the 5-minute time frame and looking for those behaviors, looking for the market structures and looking for the reasons that I take trades. And the reason I'm so successful in these trades is based on the data that I receive and how I analyze it. I'm not always right, but I'm right more often than I am wrong. All right, so that pretty much concludes the Bitcoin portion of what I want to talk about. It's, we went in for 30 minutes, but I wanted to talk about it in detail to show you both the macro level, the daily level, what we're looking for, the smaller time frames, the intraday time frames. And as of right now, we are long waiting for this target to hit. Now, I put a request out for alts. So let's see, we got DNT. So let's look at DNT. Let me grab, I'll grab this chart here, DNT, USDT. I don't know, I guess I'll use CoinEx. Yeah, there it is, all right. So I'm gonna just look at one more of the exchange just to see if it has similar price action, because what I wanna see is if it's a new coin or it's been around or just listed. Okay, this one has a different, this one goes back to 2021 where CoinEx didn't. So this has more history behind it. So, as you can see, this coin's at the floor. This coin's on the floor. So when you guys show me things like this, I think it's I like buying the floors. I like buying where things get wiped out. What I look for is this. Coin came out. Okay, unfortunately, it probably came out towards the end of the bull market, and a subsequent. What you're gonna have the bear market coming in. It's gonna come down. But this is what I like to do. I like to zoom in here. Let me do this here. Zoom in right here, and I want to know where the whales stepped in. Where did they step in? They stepped in right here. Right here. They defended it. It came back down. They defended it again. It bounced again. But see how the bounces got smaller? Smaller. Once again to defend it. We had a deviation, reclaim back up on it here, and then another back test here. So we know this is the floor. So if I'm not a fundamental trader, so I don't know what this coin does, what it is. I'm not an MA trader. I'm not a market analysis trader, so I don't know what events they may have. But those things do affect movement. So if there's something going on, if there's some sort of announcement, if there's something fundamentally that you believe is going to change for the better the crypto space and people are going to utilize it, then how are you not stepping in down here and buying it? Because people were stepping in here and buying it. They loved it at $33. They loved it at $23. I mean, look at this. There's people who bought it. People loved it at $55. How come you're not loving it at $6? At $6 you don't love it, but you love it at $55? That's a typical Twitter trader. That's what I call the TTT. Twitter trader twat. People who buy the tops, but they don't want to buy it when it's down here. That's just the reality of it, unfortunately. Now, that's the macro level of it. Okay, so I'm looking at the macro level. It hasn't done anything significant on the weekly. It's below all EMAs. On the daily, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So, where do you begin to get excited on a coin like this? Well, let me tell you how I begin to get excited when I see a coin like this. First thing I do is I look to see where it bounced from, how far that bounce was. Did it hit a key resistance? Yep, it did. Now I want to look for a higher low. A higher low is formed in a continuation rule. 382.50. It should not close below 0.50 if you want to see a good size higher high harmonic pattern bounce. So let's see. Let's see if this respected the continuation rule. There was the bounce. Bounced right into resistance. Right into resistance here. And look, we bounced right off the continuation fib. However, we don't have follow through. And this is what we should see. This is what we want to see. This harmonic pattern gives us pretty much where the trade should be ending. Within a margin. All right, guys, within a margin. Not to the penny. Within here. A little bit here, a little bit below here, but here. But it's not doing that. In fact, right now, it's in danger of putting in a double top, an M pattern. And if that is the case, then you're going to look for a 786. Most M patterns end at 786. You'll be looking for a move here. But I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is this. I do know what to look for. So let me show you. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't want to crowd the chart. Let me get rid of the drawings. I do know that if we do have an M top, so let me just trace it out real quick so I can make it here, here, here. And if we do go here, oh, shoot. Sorry, I screwed that up. Sorry. Let me do it again because I think this a visual like this will really help people to understand. There we go. Okay, so what I do know is that this is the neckline. However, because this is a wick here and we have candle bodies here, I'm going to choose to go with the candle bodies over a wick for my neckline. So I'm going to put this in red in here. So what I'm going to look for, let me go ahead and get rid of this here. What I'm going to look for is if we are going to double top and this M pattern is going to play out, I need to see confirmation. My confirmation is going to be this. We break the neckline. We come back up to the neckline. We back test it and we don't reclaim it. And we get a rejection. That tells me the probability we're going to 786. And this is a pattern, guys, that plays out everywhere in all time frames. And this is a pattern that I use on the 5-minute, 15-minute, and hourly time frame on a daily basis. And this is what contributes to my high success rate. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not that smart. I'm not smart enough to know where the market's going to go, but I'm smart enough to recognize the signs that the market tells me. I am not in control of this market. This market is in control of me. And he controls me because I have to look and study and watch for the market to tell me where it wants to go. And luckily, because of the tens of thousands of hours that I spent looking at it, I can identify them easily. It's not easy when you start, but it is easier as you go, as you put the time in. So that's what I'm waiting. That's what I would wait for. Why did I choose DOT? This was supposed to be DNT. I just realized that. I'm so sorry, brother, Mr. Texan. But well, anyways, at least this was a lesson in what I would look at. This is a lesson when I would look at. But why does it say DOT? I thought I could have sworn I put DNT. Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. Well, in any case, that type of market structure is what I would look for if you guys are into DOT, and that would work out on any coin. So, but let me go back. DNT. That's so weird. DNT, USDT. Why? Oh, because I went down here to see if there was other exchanges like an idiot. I just assumed there was more than one. There. That's why. Oh, man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Well, let's take a look at DNT then. CoinEx is the only thing that I have available on TradingView. This just came out and is doing all of this. I don't trade this shit, guys. I'm sorry. I don't trade this shit. I don't trade that. I trade high market cap, high volume coins. And let me explain to you why. Look, this is what I trade. 24-hour volume, because I'm a day trader. I worry about the volume for the past 24 hours. This is the stuff I trade. And it's a really simple explanation. Do you see this, guys? Do you see this candle and this candle? Look, this candle. This is greed and this is fear. This is dopamine and this is people running for the hills. This is emotion. That's what it equals out to. It equals out to emotion. the more people, the more emotion, the higher the market cap, the more the average is going to play out. Because you have to think about the 24-hour volume to something like this, to the 24-hour volume of 4 billion, 3 billion, 1 billion, 1.38 billion. There's a lot of emotion within here, but it doesn't move as drastic as this. So let's take a look at BNB, for instance, at 1.38. Look at the volatility on this, and then let's look at the volatility on BNB USDT. See the volatility? A lot less. You don't have these massive spikes and these massive reversals, instant reversals. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at that. This is the weekly time frame. Look at this shit. This is awful. Why would you trade this? If you're going to trade this for long term because you believe in the project, that's great. But you have to understand who you're speaking to, Mr. Texan. You're not speaking to a fundamentalist, a market analyst, a guy who plays MA, which is the market analysis. I don't trade off of that. I trade on an intraday basis. What's going on for that day? So if you're trying to see if this coin is worth long term, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know what this coin does. That's up to you to make the research, determine if that's the project that you believe is going to make a difference and it's going to make you a lot of money. And typically, one of the things I will say, Mr. Texan, if this is new the way it is, and there's no other chart with more history, and this did come out when it did, and this is the price action that it had, there's a good chance. There's a good chance it's going to succeed because there's not a lot of bag holders. Now, this created a lot of bag holders. So now you have all these people to contest to when you start going up. All these people are going to want to get out. Because look, they've been holding it since March 11th. So these people are no longer thinking about how great the project is. Oh my God, we're going to go to all-time high. We're going to go to $5. They're just thinking, God, I just want my money back. I've been holding this for 4 months. My wife is on my ass. She wants our money back. I promised her a new house. We didn't get nothing. We threw all our money in here because the devs told you. The community told you. Well, let the community pay you back. Oh, no, they're not going to pay me back. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, no shit. It doesn't work that way. So why did you go all in? And that's what usually happens when we see wicks like this, because people went in so heavy. The market maker said, oh my God, easy money. And they took it from you. Simple as that. Now you have to battle and hope that the devs are right. They do come through and you do go to a new all-time high. If not, you're stuck bag holder. That's it. That's just, unfortunately, that's how it is. So I don't get involved with all of this shit. That's why I live 1 hour, 15, 5 minute. And look at this. This is fucking awful. Awful. I'm sorry, Texan, but when you see patterns like this, when you see candles that look like this on a 5 minute, there's no liquidity in this shit. As a matter of fact, let's go look at it. There's no liquidity in this. That's why it looks like that. What is this? DNT? DNT. Wait a minute. What happened? Oh, DNT right here. District X. Let's look at this. 24. Oh, that's the first thing I'm looking from now on. This is a fucking joke. $228,000. $228,000. I should have looked at this first. I do not do TA on shit like this. If it's under 100 million, go fuck off. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. I'm even going to waste my fucking time with this. You know what? Let me get fucking out of here, this shit. Oh my God. What a waste of time. I got to start fucking, what do you call it? Looking at the market cap first. Oh boy. What a waste of time. That's just garbage. Let's see here. Can you look at Zorro? Let me look at Zorro. Now I'm going to do this. Fuck. I'm not going to fall for this shit again. Where is, what's the market cap? ZRO, layer 0. What's your market cap? Okay, now you're talking. 3 billion. I will look at that. $500 million in trading volume. Yeah, I'll look at that. That I will look at. So let's get out of this shithole. Let's go to ZRO USDT. Oh, guys, I see I got an alert on my phone that Bitcoin's dropping. So let's just take a quick look. Oh, there it is. Okay, look what's going on. Now, nothing's set in stone because we haven't closed here yet. We haven't closed. So if we close, if we wick and close the candle body, all is still good. This is actually will help our case because this pulls the rubber band even further, meaning we have a higher chance of getting here. Let me show you what I mean by that. I use a lot of harmonic patterns. So if this pulls back, that's my point of my CD. AB equals CD. And how close will that get me to my target? Closer. This has a better chance when this rubber band pulls back like this, that have a better success rate. When it's shallower, yes, you can put the A, B, C, D, but it's less likely to play out because you didn't get that nice pullback. The more it pulls back, the more money the market makers made here. You have to think about when they did this, they just knocked out a bunch of money. They just knocked out millions of dollars of a contract. And that's another tool that I use. I use the liquidation data. The liquidation data tells me if they took a lot of money out of here, that's going to fuel the pump. So I look at high block, and we do that on my Discord group. So let's see what happens. Now, if this doesn't close, if this doesn't wick up here, we're not going to look at this. But we're not there because it hasn't closed, so I'm not allowed to revisit here. But look, we're already inside of it, though. So chances are we're going to invalidate it. But honestly, I don't usually put it on until the candle closes. So we still have 29 minutes for that candle to close. A lot can happen. And if we do, I'm looking for a 706 bounce. But like I told you guys, it usually pivots 80% or higher. It pivots on 706. And look, now we're even losing that. And that was the scenario I told you about, that if we do lose that, the bears are still not, the bulls still have a chance because we have a 3 higher low. 1, 2, 3. You'll see it better on the 4-hour time frame. That was a 3 higher low that I talked about. Here, and then whatever this is here. I don't know what, when I was telling you guys, we were still up here. But let's see how this plays out. In the meantime, I'm going to go to my alt request. But at least we were able to see this live and know what to look for. Bulls still have a chance to make it up to the 60,000. I'm not going to discount it unless we break below the swing low, which is the left side of the W that was created on Thursday of last week. All right, so let's go back to Zorro. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Another thing I don't do. I'm very specific, guys, on what I chart. So I'm very picky. All right, that's my prerogative. I'm very picky. You know why? That is part of my success in calling out trades. So when I call trades, they have a good probability of working out. But there's certain parameters that are going to allow me to have that type of strike rate. And this is not one of them. And here's why. There's not enough data. This is still establishing itself. When I see something like this, I need to see a low put in and a high put in. And then once that high is going to be put in, I want to see a drop down to 886. Because that's where institutions are going to load up. The institutions are going to, how high can we take this? That's how high we can take it. Okay, now we're going to drop it to 886. We're going to make people capitulate. We're going to pick up their bags, and then we're going to pump it. As a matter of fact, let me see here. Hold on. Here's one. Arrow. Like I told you guys before, I don't do fundamentals, but this is one that I did. This is one that I did do my homework on. One of the strongest fundamental projects out there is this coin. I'm not going to tell you about it because I'm not smart enough to give you the information as good as a gentleman out there called Crypto Bud. Crypto Bud is on YouTube, old school guy. 4 months ago or 5 months ago, he gave a breakdown of Arrow and what it is and what it represents and why I'm so interested in it. But my point of this is to show you this. I'm going to hide all. Look at what it did. Look at what it did. You have that low. Market makers took it to a high, but it's okay. I know it's going to come down. I was talking about this coming down in my last morning brief video that I did for my team right here, right on this one here. BC, there's a W. She's going to go. She's going to go to new all-time high. Then it's going to leave without me. But I'm not going to be interested in this coin until we hit 886. And we did. And that's where we bounced. And I even have a timestamp here. On 5/20 at 6:26 a.m., if you go back to my library on my Discord, on my premium channel, and you go back and you fast forward to 6:26, I said there was an 80% probability we would hit 886. And that's where we bounced. It took months. But what do I always say? The market is not in a hurry. Only you are. That's the reality of it. That nobody thinks it's going to happen. And every single coin goes through it. And it's funny because people will give me a coin and say, oh, not this one, BC, not this one, not this one. All of them. They eventually will come down to 886. But the Moon Boys, the bag holders, you can't tell them that. You can't. But it's okay. I don't care about them. I just don't. I'm going to tell you my TA and you can follow or you can block me. Well, it doesn't care. Irrelevant. It doesn't affect my ROI. That's what people don't think. People think that if you get mad at me, it's going to, I don't care. I don't care about you. KAS. Let's look at KAS, USDT. Let's look at here. Let's look at the weekly. Let's get rid of just some of these indicators. We don't need those. Let's go here. Let's go here. Yeah, there's another good example. Coin came out and just went, and people think, nope, it's not going to come down. Well, you know what? Here's the fib. And I'm going to explain to you why I went off of here. And I'll tell you that in a minute. Okay, so this was the move, right? This is the move right here. It stopped here. It came down here and retraced it. Here was a swing fail. It did not break above here. Here, it did break above here and closed below here. Then it kept on going. So this was the high right here. The high was 0.1897. It came down, another swing failure. Came back down, another swing failure. Actually closed exactly the clothesline on the candle bodies. That's what I like to measure. Not the swing fail portion, but this was the actual move. We can never get above it. This starts telling me it's showing weakness. Now again, you don't have to believe me. And it could go much higher. But if you're listening to this, Mr. Jones, and you like this coin, and you're writing it, great. Protect your profits, write your stop loss up, do whatever system works for you. But please do yourself this favor. If this is the top, at some point, we're going to hit in here. Now, 0.886 is this. You take the 50%. Oh, sorry. Take the 50% from here to here. When this breaks the 50% between 786 and the 50%, anything below here is 886. 886. Watch this. You may need to adjust this. If this has another impulse and closes here, then you have to drag this up to here. So from this high all the way to this low. And at some point, one day in the future, 886 will get hit. I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't have a crystal ball. But just pay attention to this. If anything, pay attention to that, and then you tell me if I was crazy. I can't tell how many people. It takes a while. Just like Arrow. Arrow took months to finally come down. It put a peak on April 12th, and we bounced. We hit 886 3 months later. 3 months later. And in crypto, 3 months is 2 years. It's like dog years. Be careful with it. I can't look at this and tell you, yeah, go into a trade. No, I mean, if we're looking for day trades, here would be my day trade. If we're looking for a day trade on something like this, let me look at the volume, because the volume is going to really measure the success rate. Circulating 24 trillion, 62 million. That's really low. That's super low. That means it doesn't move that fast. It doesn't move. It just, I don't know. I particularly like 500 million into the billions, but we'll take a look at it anyhow. And we'll measure some moves out. So what did it do here? Here's the M top. Look at this, Mr. Jones. Remember I just talked about a little while ago, the M top? What did we look for? We look for neckline, back test, and rejection to take a short position. Well, let's see. Where's the neckline? The neckline, candle bodies. Remember, the other one had a wick, but I said I like the candle bodies. All right, so there's the candle body of the neckline. We came down. We lost it. We came back up. We closed below it. We back tested it. We came down. We back tested it again. We still failed. We came back down. We back tested it. We could not break the neckline. We cannot regain the neckline. And look what happened. You see that? So let's talk about ROI. You break down here. You came back. Okay. You back tested. You start getting rejected. Here is where I would have put the call out. Here's where I put the call out. Okay. Now, the invalidation would be a clean close and trading higher. We close this out and we flip into a long. Look where this went. Now I trade 10x. This is an 89% ROI. But I don't know how low it's going to go. In order for me to get a target, a realistic target for me, this is what I would have done. So if I'm looking for a realistic target, I am going to go to the 4-hour time frame, and I'm going to look for 706. That's my favorite. I like that fib for a pivot. So let's look. But I start scaling out at 618. That's just me, because I don't like. There it is. Look at that. Look at where we pivot. Am I making this shit up? Look at this. We didn't rehearse this. You know that because other people might look at this and say, oh, this guy rehearsed it. No, I don't. Because this is the same fucking thing I see every day on every coin. So it's like I can call this shit in my sleep. Again, go to my Telegram channel. Scroll up. Fact check me. I'm asking you to prove me wrong and call me out in public. I will even repost it. I will repost it on my own. If you don't have a lot of followers, I will repost it. I'll give you my word. But you can't. Why? Because the system works more often than not. So for me, I would have took my first profit here, second here, third here, because I don't know how low it's going to go. I don't know, but I want to take profit. So that's look, and go to my Discord and watch the link trade. The link trade came right down to 706 and pivoted. Go look for yourselves. Everyone listening to this, go look. It just happened yesterday, right at 706. Right at 706. So you tell me if I'm crazy. You tell me if I'm making this shit up. So for right now, Mr. Jones, we had the bounce, we had the pivot. We need to see the follow through. So we need to see a higher low. So we had the drop. Okay. Now what we got to do is that we got to look for the continuation rule off of this drop. So if it's not here to here to here. See, it's hold on, right here. So see how it's not breaking, but this wick went down a little too far. I don't like when it wicks out like that. I'd rather it have a small wick, but at least bounce off of here. It went too deep for my taste, to increase the probability that we're going to continue. We haven't broken the low, so we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low. Until we break below here, then that invalidates that. But you still have a chance. There's two things that I'm looking for. I would be looking for here. The continuation of this higher low into a higher high, or a possible W. We go down a little bit further here to 706 or 786. So, which we have. So we got a good formation for a W. So this is more of a W than a continuation rule, and then a continuation up to here. That would be my day trade move. But because it's such low liquidity, 62 million for the 24-hour, that's not high. When you play high 24-hour volume coins, you will be able to understand why I believe 62. So for some people, 62 million is a lot. It really isn't if you're a day trader. And only my day traders could understand that. Only people listening to this who day trade are like, yeah, BC, he knows. We'll get stuck in shit like this, man, for days sometimes. For days. When it's low, when we don't have that high 24-hour volume. We want people to be engaged. We want people to be out there. And so that's why this is important. When you're a day trader, you wake up and you look for this. You go here, you click on here, and you pick. All right, what are the high? Give me the first 10. Give me the top 10. Well, Bitcoin I already trade. USDC I don't trade. And XRP I don't trade. It just goes sideways. It doesn't do anything. So you already know that's a stable coin. Oh, I got Pipit today. I got BNB today. I got Notcoin today. I got Dogecoin today. I got WIF today. And then we can start looking for those setups on these coins. We find the coins, we map them out. We look at the ones that have, bullish market setups or bullish or bearish market setups to trade. So let's take a look at, actually no, I have other, I was going to look at Pepe real quick, but I got other requests. So I'm going to go to the request. I got Telcoin. So let's look at, actually first, let me do this. Let me go to Telcoin here. Let's look at the volume. Does Telcoin have a good 24-hour volume? 24 931,000? Oh my, that can't be right. Wow. That must be a horrible chart. It must just fucking be flatlined. Oh my God. Here, let me show you. Fuck. I'm not going to TA that shit, but oh my God. I mean, I'll do it in a macro, but again, as a day trader, looking at it from a day trade. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like shit. Yeah, it's fucking flatline city. 900. Yeah, look at this flatline city. Look at this shit. It's awful. Okay, so let's look at a macro. Let's look at it from a macro perspective. I'd never day trade that. Yeah, well, look at this shit. Oh my God. I'm going to repeat myself again. And this is where people get offended. And Joseph Ego, please don't get offended to this, dude. This is just my opinion. And this is based on history. Okay? It's not 100%. Coins that run in previous cycles don't always make it to all-time highs on other. Now, the ones that do are the ones that are fundamentally strong. I don't know what Telcoin does. I'm not a fundamental trader. So you would know better than I do. You will have to educate me. I'm going to educate you on the price action. You educate me on the fundamentals. If you believe that their project is going to be adopted into the real world, then you're going to do this. If it's not going to get adopted, it's maybe we'll go to 382. The really good ones go to 618 from the underside. So what you do, you take this, you go to the low of the was this the low? The low right here. You go to this. And the good ones will hit 618. Most of them will hit 382. Most of them will hit 382. I don't know. But that's all I can tell you on this coin from a macro perspective. It's here. It's at the bottom. So if you believe in it, buy. Why aren't you buying? You should be buying. Day trading, fucking garbage. Garbage to day trade. But if you're not a day trader and you're looking to accumulate and you believe in the project, fuck, you're at the bottom. How can you go wrong? You have very little risk to the downside. Very little risk. If you believe this is going to go higher, I mean, just a 3, even if it goes to 382, even if it goes to 382 from this level, what do you have? Holy crap. 1,133% on spot. Not even leverage. On spot. If you use a 10x leverage, that's 11,000% ROI. Over 11,000% ROI on a 10x leverage. That's fucking incredible. That's great. Knock yourself out. This is just not what I day trade. This is not the type of stuff that I'd be calling in my new Telegram signal channel. No. But hopefully that answered your question, Mr. No, it wasn't Mr. Jones. It was Joseph. Mr. Jones was Kaz. Joseph, hopefully I answered your question. I don't know what you're looking for. All you said is tell. So I don't know if you're in a position, if you want to get out, if you're trying to get into a position, and you do on spot, you're doing on leverage. I have limited information. That's all I have to say for tell. I don't know anything about it, so I can't say it's good or bad. This is good. If you're a believer, it's fantastic. Fantastic if you're a believer. Because if you're a believer and you've done the research, you know this is going to go higher. You believe it's going to go higher. I don't know. Most of them don't, but you believe it will. As long as you believe it will, that's all that fucking matters. You're asking me if this is a good place to buy? Absolutely. I like to buy the bottoms, not the tops. You ask me when it's here? Nope. Let this go. This is not for you. You ask me here? Hell yeah. That's where you want to buy. Let's look at Floki. Oof. Look at that M-top. Look at that M-top. So let's take the neckline. Neckline right there, candle bodies. What do? We just back test it. This shit is like, it gets boring after a while because it's the same exact thing across any time frame. It's just, I swear to God, I didn't rehearse none of this. I'm picking these randomly from the comments on you guys can look at my comments from the post that I put on here. And look, boom. Does my system work? Do you understand why I have such a high success rate on my day trades? These are the rules that I follow. These same rules apply on the smaller time frames, on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute, on the 15 minute, which is where I live for day trades. There it is. So, Joseph, this coin still has time. What I'm going to do now is when I see a high time frame back test rejection, I'm going to go to the lower time frames. I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frames. And what I'm going to look for is I'm looking for a smaller M here. I don't want to see an M here. If I see an M here, that's bearish and that leans towards more downside. But I don't know because I haven't seen it. So let me look. I look at the 4-hour and look at the hourly. Do I have an M? There's that back test. There's the inside of the M. There's the top. You see? There it is. Right there. I don't like that. Because now when you dial it down, you can see how many rejections we had. Rejections there. Rejections there. Rejections there. You're now rejecting off the back test of the neckline. That's never good. You want to see a reclaim. And then you want to see a W here. The W is here though. So look at that. On the 4-hour, the W is here. But we're unable to cross this. So in a perfect world, this is what I would like to see to flip into a more of a bullish bias. Because I'm sure that's probably what you want as well. You want to see this. You want to see us break here. Okay. Complete the W. Again, I like using neckline. So if you look at my cursor and you go down, you see that I'm stopping right at the neckline. Then I want to see us do this and hold that. Now, when I do that, oh my God. Sorry, guys, I messed this up. Hold on. Let me get. I was supposed to double click it to get out of it. So let me do this. Go up to here, right there. Now what I want to do is, if we do this move, can I find confluence with my reload zone? on this neckline back test? Can I get a 706 or a 786 on that back line? If we do this, again, this is a lot of speculating, but this is how I do this. 618, even better. The golden pocket. Golden pocket lines up to a back test of the break. If we get the breakout, again, if we get the breakout, I'm trying to give you the best case scenario. If we get that breakout, we complete the W and we come back down to 618 and lines up perfectly with this, and it holds. Now you're looking for smaller W's into here for a continuation. But if this continues, more downside. It's that simple. All right, guys, I'm going to end it. I've been an hour and 10 minutes. I usually give you a 15-minute, but again, I wanted to make up for some of the, being gone for 5 days and not giving you guys any updates. And I think I made up for it with a 1 hour and 10-minute video. Stay tuned for my introduction video to my new Telegram channel, because I'm going to give you an in-depth look at my system for my Telegram channel to explain to you and show you what I look for and why I've been hitting the way I have on the Telegram with the alts, so that you have more confidence in understanding my system and wanting to join. And again, guys, it's $25 a month. If you are nervous about trying something for $25 a month, do not fucking join. You are too poor. I don't want poor people following me into my Telegram channel, because if you're that poor and you're that concerned about $25 fucking dollars, then you need to check your fucking life and you need to do something better than being in crypto when you can't afford $25. All right? Do not follow me. I don't like that. I want people who have the ability and have the resources to have throwaway money, because this is all high risk and this can all go to zero. And you should only play with money you can afford to lose. So if you're nervous about $25, stay away. I'm going to insult you and I'm going to block you. All right? So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, everyone have a really good day. Talk to you later.